Hey, my friends. Welcome to Strange History. Today's story is crazy, emotional, and 100% true. A man lived in an airport, not for one day, not for 1 week. He lived there for 18 years. Yes, 18 years in an airport. No house, no bed, no country. Just a bench, just a suitcase, just waiting. His name was Mehran Karimi Nasseri. People called him Sir Alfred. His life was strange. His story became a movie, The Terminal. But the real story is even more shocking. This video is made for English learners. We use easy grammar and simple words. It's perfect for A2 B1 level. And don't forget, subscribe to my channel to learn English through amazing true stories. Let me tell you a strange story. It sounds like a movie. A man lived inside an airport. His name was Mehran Karimi Nasseri. He was born in Iran in 1945. One day, he had to leave his country. It was too dangerous for him to stay. So, he asked for help from the United Nations, and they gave him refugee papers. He wanted to go to England to find a new home. He dreamed of studying, working, and living in peace. But then, something terrible happened. While he was traveling in Europe, he lost his bag. Inside the bag were all his important papers: his passport, visa, and refugee ID. Some say his bag was stolen. Others say he lost it himself. But the result was the same. He had no documents. He was stuck. Mehran flew to Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris, France. He wanted to take the next flight to London. But when he arrived, the police stopped him. "Where are your papers?" they asked. He had nothing to show. No passport, no ID. France didn't let him in. England didn't let him in. And he couldn't go back to Iran. So where could he go? Nowhere. The airport became his new home. And this is how his strange life began. Let me ask you something. Can you live in an airport? No hotel, no home. Just chairs, lights, and people running every day? Well, Mehran did it. For 18 years. Yes, 18 years. Inside Terminal 1 of Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris. He didn't have a room. He didn't have a bed. He didn't even have a passport. So what did he do? In the morning, he went to the bathroom. He washed his face. He combed his hair. Sometimes he smiled at people walking by. Then he walked around the airport. He sat on red chairs. He read old newspapers. And he waited. Always waiting. Some airport workers felt sad for him. They gave him food, sandwiches, coffee. Some travelers gave him coins or chocolate. At night, he made a small bed on the bench. He used his bag like a pillow. It was cold. It was bright. But it was safe. And he waited. Waited for a new passport. Waited for a letter. Waited for someone to say, "You can leave now." If you're ready, you'll learn how lawyers, newspapers, and even TV shows tried to help. Mehran's story was not a secret anymore. A few kind lawyers heard about him. They went to the airport. They sat beside him and said, "Don't worry, we will help you. We will bring back your documents." They worked day and night. They wrote letters. They called embassies. They spoke to immigration offices. They filled out forms again and again. But every answer was the same. We need his passport. We need proof. But Mehran had no passport, no ID, no paper, only his words, only his story. Now comes the strange part. Airport workers started calling him Sir Alfred. At first it was a joke, but Mehran liked it. He said, "It sounds royal, like I'm someone important." He even wrote it on his red bag. Sir Alfred of Terminal 1. Funny, right? But behind the smile, he was tired. Tired of sleeping on benches. Tired of waiting for a letter that never came. Tired of repeating the same story again and again. One night, he looked at his reflection in a glass door. He whispered, "Do I still exist? If I have no country, am I still a person?" These are big questions. Questions that make you stop and think. Let's take a moment together. What makes you you? Is it your name? Your passport? Or your story? Mehran had his story, but nobody believed it. So he lived between chairs, travelers, and flight announcements. Invisible, but still there. Then something changed. One day, a journalist came. Then another. Then a camera. The world finally saw him. A man is living inside Paris airport. He has no passport, no home, no country. People were shocked. Some wanted to help. Others just watched the story. Suddenly, Mehran was famous. But fame didn't open any doors. He was still there, still waiting, still hoping, still forgotten. This is the final chapter of Mehran's strange and emotional story. One day, good news came. In 1999, Belgium sent new documents. They said, "You can come back. You are welcome here." But Mehran said no. He wanted to go to the UK, and he wanted a new name, Sir Alfred Mehran. The papers didn't say that. So he refused. Yes, that sounds strange. But after so many years in the airport, maybe it was hard to change. Maybe the airport started to feel like home. In 2006, Mehran got sick. He was taken to a hospital. He had no passport, but he had a name. And now, the world knew it. After the hospital, he didn't go back to the airport. He moved to a shelter in Paris. It was small, but warm. He had a real bed, real food, and people who cared. But he stayed quiet. He didn't like to talk much. He missed the old airport life. He missed his plastic bench. He missed the sound of people moving. In 2022, Mehran did something unexpected. He returned to the airport, yes. After all those years, he went back. Back to Terminal 1. Nobody really knows why. Maybe he felt safe there. Maybe that was the only place he felt real. And then, one quiet day in November, he died. He was alone. He was 76 years old. Mehran never found a home. But he found a story. A strange, powerful story that traveled the world. He showed us something. You don't need a passport to be remembered. You don't need a country to be human. And now, dear listener, you know his name. You know his story. And maybe, just maybe, you'll never forget it.